You can follow me on Facebook at Robert Fountain for Sheriff or visit my website, Fountain, the number 4, Sheriff2022.com. Again, I ask for your vote and your support. Thank you and be blessed.
Paid for by the committee to elect Robert Fountain for Granville County Sheriff. Sponsored by Little Caesars, located in Granville Corners in Oxford, North Carolina, home of the hot and ready pizza. We are under new ownership and black owned. Get a free crazy bread with the purchase of 2 pizzas Monday through Wednesday. Mention offer code #Crazy Bread Special. Call us at 919-514-1450. #Crazy Bread Special. Call us 919-514-1450.
It's time for the Tailgate Sword Show.
Here in the third quarter, 31-20, the Falcons are driving. In a scoring drive sponsored by Keller Williams Platinum Group, here comes the Falcons. First and goal, so they have 4 opportunities right now. 1:03, the clock continues to run. Kelly in the shotgun. First and goal, 3 to the left, 1 to the right, Blues in the backfield. Hands it to Blue, cuts outside, and he's going to be in for the touchdown. And a good afternoon to you. Welcome to the Tailgate Sports Show. My name is Trey Snyder. Thank you so much for being a part of what we do here on Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Next Door Radio app. Our phone number was brought to you by Little Caesars, home of the hot and ready pizza, 919-618-9258. Head coach of Jordan High School becomes the first head coach of Jordan High School in 15 years to win a playoff game in football. My friend, congratulations to you. And how you feeling today?
Thank you, sir. Enjoying the playoff glow. Happy to still be dancing.
Exactly right. So talk a little bit more about the game. Tell me what you think. And what was the difference? Again, you guys have been playing so much better going into it. About to say, we'll say what, week 6, 7, and then things started kind of upticking, should you say? Talk a little bit more about it.
We've harped on it before, but I think getting healthy. Those guys that we were missing, played exceptionally well Friday night. Luke Dale and Tyler Clark, some of those cats, and we through the process of them being out, we developed some pretty good depth along the way. We've got some guys that played some meaningful snaps, and one thing I was most impressed with, from coaches to players to training staff, was how no one really seemed to feel too much pressure. We played very loose, and that kind of helped us minimize mistakes. We knew that their running back was good. We knew that he was going to manage to get loose a few times, and how we responded was going to be key. And we never locked up. We kept fighting, and was proud to see him come out on top.
23-20 was the score over Jack Britt. And you mentioned a little bit more about the guys that we expected to really get going. It was good to be able to see that. Now, talk a little bit more about your coaches this season. We know your defensive coach and your offensive coach. I mean, everything. Every coach there at Jordan has stepped up in such a big way after the first couple games of the regular season. Talk about the difference they made really at the halfway point there at the bye week.
I'm going to be honest with you. There's one that I very rarely get to talk about, and that's my JV head coach, Amari Williams. He's kind of come on as of late, especially now that JVs are finished through their season. I mean, last week, he ate the lion's share of most of the day-to-day, and I was able to watch film and focus on football. That was a godsend. I felt more prepared by him doing a lot for me in the operations for laundry and paperwork and that kind of stuff. He's really blossomed, and this is his first coaching stop is here with me. And our time together, we're starting to finish each other's sentences type thing. So top to bottom, my staff has done a fantastic job. And we're not preparing any differently now than we were. It's not like we were phoning it in for 6 weeks and just dialed it up. They're doing a fantastic job. I think the kids have finally started to buy into the nuance in the film that they're seeing and really kind of execute their game plans, and it's fun to watch.
So moving on to the second round for the very first time in over 15 years. Is that number correct? Am I saying that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
2006.
Wow.
In 2006, they won in the first round against Apex and lost to Riverside in the second round.
I remember going back, back in my heyday, Coach. I talked a little bit about it when we're doing the broadcast on Friday nights here. Back in my heyday, we actually played Apex in the playoffs when I was at Clayton High School. And so it was, I was able, now we lost to Apex. So there you go. That should tell you something. But, and that was, I guess that was back in, I graduated 06. So that, I guess about the same time. Wow. I'm getting old, Coach. Getting old. Again, this is the Tailgate Sports Show here on the Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Next Door Radio app. A phone line brought to you by Little Caesars, home of the hot and ready pizza. Head football coach of Jordan High School, Coach Allred. Talk a little bit more about the upcoming game, again, in the second round of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association 4A state playoffs for football. Going to go up against a really 9-2 program in Pinecrest. Tell me what you know.
Man, I know this is the first time in the history of their school they won their conference. This team is very balanced. They can do a lot of different things, and they've got a lot of weapons. They sneaky good running back. I don't think he gets enough credit. They've got a wideout in the slot that can do pretty much everything they ask him to do. Even down to their special teams units where, you see a kid that may not have a starting role. He's trying to earn one. So, I mean, this is going to be a bunch that's well coached, well prepared, and I think it's going to be a real test. Once you get into these types of games, you'd be surprised who can step up at a moment's notice and all of a sudden change their whole season. So we're going to have to be well prepared and stay the course here, trust our preparation, and go down there and try to play as clean a game as possible, force them to be the ones making mistakes.
So averaging a little about right at 25, 30 points a game. They did put up 42 this in the state playoff game in the first round at home. We're going to separate the defense and the offense real quick. Let's talk about the defense first. Tell me what if you can, of course, they're going to be listening back to watch the video and of course the audio. But give us kind of a inside peek of what you guys expect to do on the defensive side.
For us, as far as our defense goes, we're gonna look to limit the run game. They're an RPO team, something that we don't see a lot of up here. A lot of teams up here, they're either going to run the ball or throw it. These guys can kind of read some second level defenders and do things. So they like to get 5 open on the seam after showing you a run fit. And we'll look to try to limit their ability to do that. Try to keep them hemmed in, and hopefully get some pressure up front. I think that's going to be key is making guards have to try to pull against linemen that are whipping their tails all night long, and see what we can do with that.
Tell me about the size. What do you know about the offensive size of the offensive line, things like that?
Their offensive line, they all look about like they're clones of one another.
That's what you want.
The tackles are big, tall, like long. They're not real heavy. But they're long, and their paws on you from a distance, and they can hold you at bay for a minute. They got a quarterback of good size. Their running back's about 178, 180. And I mean, he can dust you. I mean, that kid can fly. So, a couple times he gets the edge against Laney, and it was just strike up the band type material. So, if we can keep them in a phone booth, I think we got a shot.
Coach Allred, head football coach of Jordan High School, joins us here by way of our Tailgate Sports Show, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. Now let's switch over to the offensive side. Of course, we love talking about the offensive side. We love what Vondy is doing. We love what Blue is doing. We love now that Dale is back in the picture. Shalaski, which is one of my favorite names in all of high school football. Tell me what you expect to do. Anything different? Because right now it's working.
Hey, baby, we're going to run the ball. I don't care who knows it. You turn on the tape, you do whatever. We're going to run the football. We're funneling through Blue right now. As his night goes, our night goes. And every time he's going for over 190, we've won the game. Wow. So we're going to make sure he gets his touches and try to get him in some space. We don't have a very intricate run game. I don't know. I've gotten away with it now for a year and a half, and I'm not sure if people are ever going to figure it out and realize it's just 2 plays, or if they're just going to keep letting me do it. But, we're going to do that. And then, Chalowski, when Caden is free, he's one of the best in the state. I mean, I feel like anytime we can put the ball in his hands is a good night. And if you look at most of our pass attempts, we have few and far between pass attempts, but when we do, usually Vondy's popping up and looking for Caden or Morris. So, between those 2 cats, I think it gives us enough weapons on the edge that you can't really get heavy in the box and try to overplay us, you have to honor all of our weapons. And my offense coordinator, Copeland Spell's good at kind of capitalizing when you will miss a line. He's going to make you pay for it. And, that's kind of what we'll try to do is catch them, out of alignment and doing things that they haven't shown us on film and take advantage.
Your offense really not only the addition of Dale back into the backfield, and of course Blue doing what he does, McNeil doing what they do, but tell me a little bit more about what the difference has been for Vondi taking over really during the Vance County game and never looking back. Tell me what kind of difference he has made this year.
The kid gets the ball out of his hands insanely fast. I don't think I've ever had a quarterback release the ball as quick as he does. And he's an absolute gunslinger. He's going to pull up and he's going to throw the ball. And if that's the call, that's what's happening. He ain't going to wait. He ain't going to think. He's just going to read it and throw it. And, sometimes it's a blessing because once you realize that your kid's going to do that for you and you call a play and you know how he's going to throw and how he's going to respond, it kind of frees you as a play caller. And I think that aspect of his game has really kind of triggered some ability to play in space now that we didn't have before. The kids trust him. The kids rally behind him. Call it in playoff Vaughn now. And, giving him an opportunity to lead the team has worked out. He's very unselfish. Most quarterbacks in high school, you play in a 4 wide receiver scheme and you throw the ball on average about 10 times a game, probably going to be upset. Let me throw the ball a little bit more. Let me feed these guys on the edge. But he's the first one to celebrate a Luke Dale touchdown or the Marion run. And, it's fun to watch.
I absolutely love it. What he has done since the Vance County game, again, lost by 1 to Vance County, lost by 1 to Hillside, and then you started really doing your thing and taking off. It was that bye week that really changed the kind of the mindset of the team and what, of course, Durham County, but all of Jordan High School, it kind of changed the way you kind of do things, and it was fantastic. It's been fun to watch. Congratulations on the win for the first time in 15 years. Let's go ahead and get the win again, once again here this Thursday night. Getting breaking news, should you say? I found out from you that the game will be on Thursday night there in Fayetteville. So it should be a tremendous game. Coach, congratulations. If we could do anything for you, hey, you know my number.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a wonderful opportunity to play with some house money and, looking forward to it. So go Falcons.
There you go. God bless you, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, see ya. Head football coach of Jordan High School. What he's done such a great job of really taking what he has. Again, going back to the beginning of the regular season. I mean, the depth chart was extremely thin. So many different, high-powered offensive players, defensive players. They were on the shelf with injuries. He did what he had to do, took a couple losses, took a couple hits in the mouth, and then all of a sudden, Vance County changed a quarterback due to the fact there was an injury to Kelly, the starting quarterback at the beginning of the year, had a concussion, and here comes Vondi, steps into a big way. Marion Blue was kind of injured. He didn't miss any games, but you can tell that he was doing everything as much as possible. And so it's so good to be able to see them continue to get better every single week. They had the opportunity to really make believers out of a lot of people. So it's so good to be able to see Coach Allred, head football coach there at Jordan High School, joins us here, part of our Tailgate Sports Show, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. here on Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com, the Next Door Radio app. Until next time, thank you so much for being a part of what we do here on Next Door Radio. Until next time, this is the Tailgate Sports Show. And our phone line was brought to you by Little Caesars, home of the hot and ready pizza. Till next time, God bless. We'll see you later.